All right, it's April 30th, 2020. Doesn't matter what day it is. I don't know, man. This might be a short one, but I was watching the Bill Bert Podcast. It's episode 12, and it's about halfway in. And Bill Burr and Bert Kreischer are talking about music and drumming. And then they're comparing music and drumming to stand-up comedy. And then Bill starts comparing it to movies. And it was like, it made perfect sense. It's exactly how I think about comedy. And so if you want to know, like, where my head is at when I make the shit that I make, really, listen to Bill Burr. That's exactly where my head is at. And I don't want to compare myself to Bill Burr in any way, but I will right now. That's the mentality. That's like, it feels like because of my artistic history, I'm going in the shed to record a chapter of the Lenny Bruce book for the audio book, which is why I'm doing things. But, fuck was I saying? He summed up exactly what I feel about the arts in general and like how to make that work. And he did it in a way that was Bill Burr. He understood how to word it well, which was awesome, man. Listening to, I'm going to have to re-listen to it. But if you're a comedian, I would suggest listening to it because it's Bill Burr and he knows what he's talking about. And if you're not a comedian and you've listened to me consistently, he's wording what I feel about the arts and what I want to do with my comedy perfectly. He was talking about how you need to be comfortable with the silence. You need to change that energy and kind of bring them in a different place. That's not just laughter. He was talking about how I think he said the standard way of doing stand-up comedy is you ride the laughing wave. So it's like you ride this wave and you make them laugh, you make them laugh, you make them laugh, you make them laugh. Then the show ends and then you glide off into the sand. And that's kind of the way I think the average comedian looks at doing stand-up comedy. But he was talking about how I think they were talking about Richard Pryor and this old dog bit, which I know the bit. It's really funny, but I don't know, check it out on your own. The way he was talking about it, it was like that's exactly it. It is exactly what I'm trying to do in stand-up comedy. It is playing with the audience's emotions and time and dynamics. He was comparing drumming to stand-up. They were talking about how, like, you can keep the beat and you can copy somebody's song, but your fills and the dynamics are what makes it interesting. And you can do the same thing with your voice in stand-up. And I'm definitely going to take that thought process next time I get on stage. I don't know. I don't even have the words for it. Like, I just knew I needed to record. I needed to record a podcast for it because I knew, like, this is what he was describing is exactly what I'm trying to do. It's really trippy. So if you want a more in-depth, I guess, idea of what I'm going for, artistically speaking, what I'm trying to do and how I want to elevate, how I want so bad to be better than an open micer or an average opener, an average feature. I want to get to that headline spot, and I think to get to that headline spot, you need those dynamics. You need to be able to manipulate and play with the audience's expectations in a way that is, I guess, similar to music, or I'll compare it to bass guitar. Like I was listening to a while ago when I was learning bass guitar, I was listening to a Victor Wooten YouTube video, I think. If you don't know who Victor Wooten is, look up Victor Wooten, Amazing Grace, and you'll be like, holy shit, I didn't know bass guitar could make that many sounds. It is wild, man. But I was listening to Victor Wooten. I think he was saying something like, the music isn't the sounds you're making, it's the silence in between the sounds. The silence is so important. And it's something it's over time I've gotten better at. Like, I know I used to have kind of a nervous laugh when I would tell a joke or I'd be fucking around, and it fucks up the timing. It can make it awkward. So I think I've gotten better at that, at just kind of sitting in the silence and being fine with it. But yeah, I don't have much else to say about it. I just got really excited, and that is what I'm going for. I'm probably going to re-listen to it and really try to dissect it and take what I can from it, because it is perfect fucking advice, and that's what I want to do. So yeah, check out the Bill Bert Podcast, episode 12 is about halfway through, but you should probably listen to all of it because it's great. And if you enjoy what I do and my bullshit, please share it with one other person that you think would also enjoy what I do and my bullshit. All right, hope you guys are doing well.